Welcome to Flow. Let's get started. Today we'll start off in a child's pose position. Come down to your knees, bring your big toes together, spread your knees a little bit wider, and walk your hands out long in front of you as you bring your forehead to come down. Once you find your shape, start to bring focus and awareness to your breathing. With every inhale, feel your back body, your back ribs expand from side to side. And every exhale, allow your hips to sink a little heavier onto your heels. In this session today, we're going to be focusing a lot on neck and shoulders. Very specific and very intentional work into these spaces. And in this first child's pose, we can start to bring focus and awareness to your neck and your shoulders, especially through the shoulders at this moment. Bend your right elbow so it slides next to your nose. Lift your hips up off the ground and then start to slide your left fingers forward. Rotate your left ear towards the mat. Allow your hips to lift up and then think of pulling your hips away from your left fingertips. So almost as though you're kind of gripping your left fingertips into the mat. This is more of a side body opener, armpit opener along the left side. But allow your left armpit to really push down to the mat. And then we'll shift. Bring your hips back down. Stretch your right fingertips forward. Begin to lift through your hips. Bend through your left elbow. And then as your hips lift, think that your hips could pull away from your right fingertips and you could push your right armpit towards your mat. So this is a bit more of a side opener all along the right side, but also getting open into your right armpit. Allow your right ear to lower down to the mat. And then slowly bring yourself back. And roll up to a kneeling position. If kneeling isn't comfortable for you, find a sitting position. We're just gonna start to move through the neck here. So starting with side to side shifts, allow your right ear to come to your right shoulder, and then tip left ear to left shoulder. And we're just starting to find a little bit of movement, range of motion in the neck. So this doesn't have to be too extreme, just some gentle moves from side to side. And we're gonna do about 5 of these. Think of getting long through your neck before you tip your ear over towards that direction. Notice what happens in your shoulders here as well. Try to keep your shoulders still and think of exclusively moving through the skull and the neck. Nice and slow, notice where you're holding on to tension, maybe in your jaw. Try to find some movement in your jaw. And then after this last one, lower your chin down to your chest, and then lift your gaze and your chin up. So we're moving in a different plane of motion, and we take about 5 of these, very slow, forwards and backwards. And also notice if your upper spine is curving a little bit forward. Try to resist that at this moment. Think of exclusively the skull and the neck moving, finding range of motion. Release through the jaw, release through the eyebrows. And then bring your head back to neutral. And then turn your gaze to the right, your chin to the right, and then turn your gaze to the left. And we'll take about 5 of these, very slow motion. Say no very, very slowly. Try to keep your spine still. Keep the crown of your head growing up. And find a few more here. Notice if your range of motion can increase with every turn of your head. And then after your last one, come back to neutral and make your way to a tabletop shape with your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. When you arrive in your downward facing dog, we'll start to take cat and cow very, very slowly. So on your inhale, arch your spine, lift your gaze and your chin. And on your exhale, do the opposite, pull your chin to your chest. So obviously we're finding a lot of movement through the spine right now. I want you to try to involve your head, your neck, your shoulders as much as you can. So as you round through the spine, really pull the chin to the chest as much as you can. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Push your palms into the ground. Feel the separation between your shoulder blades. And this cat-cow is something I recommend that you do every day. It's a really nice way to mobilize, find range of motion and movement through the spine. We'll take about 5 of these total. And after your last one, move back to a neutral spinal position. Extend your right arm up to the ceiling, open through your chest, and then thread your right arm underneath your left armpit. Lower your right ear down to the mat. And then if you'd like to with your left arm, you can extend it towards the top of your mat, or you can bring your left palm on top of your right palm to find a little more twist. And just breathe here. It's a little bit of a deeper way to open through the shoulders and find a little bit of stretch into your neck as well. Notice tension in the jaw, notice tension in the face. Try to release that with just a little bit of twitch of movement. Bring your left hand next to your nose. Make your way out of this, re-extend your right arm up, and then place your right hand back down to the mat. We'll swap sides. Lift your left arm up towards the ceiling, open through your chest. Thread your left arm underneath your right armpit, bring your left ear to your mat. And then with your right hand, you have a few choices. You can stack one palm on top of the other, or you could stretch your right fingertips towards the top of your mat. Push the back of your left hand down into the ground and imagine that you could roll your heart space open towards the ceiling. Continue to breathe and feel weighted into your left shoulder, top of the left hand. And then bring your right hand next to your nose. Push down into your hand, re-extend your left arm up towards the ceiling for a twist. And then come back to tabletop position. And we'll once again come down to a sitting position. On your knees or cross-legged if that's better. We're gonna go a little bit deeper with our stretches. So start off by finding an easy kind of bobblehead. You can move around through your jaw and just think of your head and your skull being very loose. Now slip your left fingertips underneath your left thigh and tip your right ear towards your right shoulder. If that feels like enough, you can stay there. Otherwise, with your right hand, you could grab your left ear and bring your right ear a little bit closer towards your right shoulder. And now in this position, experiment with moving around through your jaw. So I like to open my mouth, move my jaw from side to side. I know it feels a little bit strange, but just experiment with that and notice if you may feel any sort of differences in this opening and in this stretch. And then slowly make your way out of this. We move to the opposite side. So slip your right fingertips underneath your right thigh, tip your left ear towards your left shoulder. Now you can stay right there, or you can use your left hand on your right ear to tip the left ear more towards the left shoulder. And then find any movement in your jaw. Even your tongue, sticking your tongue out can feel like a little bit of a stretching sensation, opening especially into the throat. If you want to find any gentle movement into your head and your neck, you can find that as well. And then slowly make your way out of this. Release your hands. Bring your gaze to the right, turn your chin. With your right hand, grab the top of your head and pull your right chin down towards your collarbone. And then you can opt to extend your left fingertips down to the left diagonal, and that's just gonna target a little bit more into the back left side of the neck. And you can stay still here, you can find a little bit of easy movement. And again, movement with the jaw is welcome as well. Take big breaths in, take full breaths out. Slowly release, we swap to the opposite side, rotate your chin to the left, bring your left chin down to your left collarbone, and then with your left hand, grab the back of your head and pull your chin even closer. Option to extend your right fingertips out to a low right diagonal. That's just going to increase the stretch a little bit along the right back side of your neck. And of course, you can find a little bit of easy movement with the neck just to target some different areas. Take big breaths here. And then slowly make your way out. Bring your head back to a neutral position. Take a few moments to find that bobblehead again, just to kind of release. We're gonna make our way to standing. So bring your hands down in front of you, step your feet forward, and first find a ragdoll forward fold. So soften through your knees, interlace your fingers at the nape of your neck. And then imagine with your fingers at the nape of your neck, you're finding some traction. So your skull is pulling away from the rest of your body. And then you can shake your head yes, shake your head no. Find heaviness in the skull, let it be dramatic. Soften through your knees and roll up slowly to stand. Allow your spine to stack. Your shoulders, your chin, and your gaze are last to arrive. And at the top, we'll take some shoulder rolls. Shoulders go up, back, and around. Take about 3 of these. Nice, juicy shoulder rolls. And after your last one, expand your arms out to the side. Reach your fingertips away from each other. And then bring your left arm across your body. Make a hook with your right arm. Pull your left shoulder down. Stand up nice and tall through your neck. Allow a little bit of softness through your knees. Just find this opening into your left shoulder, outer shoulder. Breathe into this space. Just allow this intentional stretch, nowhere else to be. And then slowly release. We stay on the same arm. Shake around a little bit through your arms. And then bring your left arm up and over. Catch your left elbow. And if you'd like to, you can lower your right ear down towards your right shoulder. That's going to target a little bit more into the top of your left shoulder, the trapezius up there. But also getting a bit into your left tricep. And then release. Once again, open through your arms. This time, bring the right arm across your body. Make a hook with your left arm. Think of pulling your right shoulder away from your right ear. You're standing up nice and tall. You can find a bit of softness through your knees. Take a big breath in, a full big breath out. Just allow to stretch this opening to happen. And then slowly release. Take a moment to kind of shake out through your arms. We're going to stay on the same side. The right arm comes up and overhead. Catch your right elbow with your left hand. And then you can choose to lower your left ear towards your left shoulder, and you feel that stretch all along the right side neck into the right shoulder. Even a bit of movement with your jaw can feel welcome here. And then slowly bring yourself back up. Release your arms. Take a moment just to let them swing around. We'll take 2 big juicy head rolls here. Lower your chin to your chest. Bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. Take your head and neck back and all the way around. Allow yourself to go slow. Allow the shoulders to get a little bit involved. And then once your chin meets your chest, take this the opposite way. Left ear towards left shoulder and take a big juicy head roll. And then bring your gaze back up and forward. Interlace your fingers at the base of your spine. Lift your heart. Bend your knees and slowly release yourself into a ragdoll forward fold with a bind. And you can find a very gentle shimmy with your shoulders here. Nice and open through the chest. Allow your head, your neck to release, maybe with an easy shake or nod of your head. Take a few more moments here, heavy through the skull. And then release your arms, bend through your knees, bring yourself all the way down onto your back. Take your time. And once you arrive, interlace your fingers at the base of your skull. Pull your elbows close to each other. Lift your skull up off the ground. Take one final moment here for a bit of traction through the neck. So that could be just some very easy movement. Imagine that you're pulling your skull away from the rest of your body. And then slowly release your skull. Bring your hands down to your side. Allow your eyes to close or find a soft gaze. And notice any shifts or differences you may feel through your neck, through your shoulders. Give yourself a few moments of stillness and silence in these sensations. Thank you for joining us. And that's your flow.